I'd always had this thing that I wanted to meet Tony. I'm a big sports fan. I remember hearing about Andre Agassi and hearing Andre Agassi's testimonial and how he worked with Tony when he was 126 in the world and then came up to #1 in the world, and he attributed that to Tony. I heard many testimonials and I was like, this guy's extraordinary. I remember thinking one day I'd really love to meet Tony.
Not only the gift to inspire, but he teaches the most important lesson that every individual has to learn about living day to day, which is that you have choices in every circumstance.
So for me, not being the greatest student in high school, this was pretty much my education on life.
Listen, you've got to do a seminar. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. And I did it.
Well, just to meet him would be something that had been on my mind at this point probably 20 years.
And you walk into Tony with all the people there and all the energy. You feel like he's just speaking to you. It was as good as almost a one-on-one. It was a one-on-one in 3,000 people. And how often do you get to really look at what do you want to say and do in your life? It's very unusual.
Then became friends with Serena Williams, and she told me firsthand about the sessions that she'd had with Tony and how immediately after these sessions she went from being injured and kind of out of tennis to winning the Grand Slam, the Australian Open.
Professionally, when you're the best, people want to beat you more and want to bring you down even more. So I had to realize that when you get on top, sometimes you have to work even harder. With discussing with Tony before, I thought I was super confident, but I was, when I was at my best, I was, I would say at an 8. And then afterwards, after the injury, which is hard on anyone really, coming back from a major surgery, so I think I was at a 4. And then after working with Tony, I just felt amazing. I felt like I was at a 10. I just really felt really amazing.
You have it inside of you. That power to make that difference, to make that choice, but to really look at what do you really want? Who are you really? What's really meaningful in your life? What are the real true meanings of your life? Do you give that opportunity to say to yourself, what do I really want? Who are the real people that make a difference? What do I want to obtain to this moment?
Everybody can use a little friend to push them along. And although I didn't know Tony, he came across as a friend who simply wanted to encourage.
What helped me most was outside of tennis. I mean, sure, it was great to become winning again and, just on top at all times, but at the same time, life is so much bigger than tennis.
Tony would encourage you to model somebody that you like the way they succeeded. Try and do what they do.
This is how I knew I was going to get to the next level.
To give me the ideas that I could make it, that anybody could make it. And Tony made it sound, and it turned out to be true, you don't need the greatest education in the world to have the right motivation and take action and put your fear into power. Anybody can do it if you have that desire. And what Tony really gave me, a kid sitting on Venice Beach selling t-shirts, was the desire to take risks, take action, and really become something.
Tony tells you all that stuff, and you just feel like, those are really life's lessons, and that's what takes you to the next level.
And then just the size of his presence and the size of his warmth and the embrace he gives you. I felt like I'd known Tony for 20 years. Now, not just through his tapes and books, but literally known him and been best friends.
Tony Robbins, the most dynamic human being I've ever met. He changed my life, as he can change yours. Doesn't matter what you are, who you are, or what you have. This man can change your life as he's changed mine.
Then I met Sage, and the pair of them were just like this bright light. And everything I'd imagined about Tony seemed to be absolutely true, and then some, when I met him in person.
To wake up every day, you should be the most happiest person alive, because that's a gift in itself. And I think with Tony and working with Tony, he can help you realize that.
This is a gift to give back to Anthony Robbins, because he gave me so much. And he can and will do the same for you. That I promise.
Life-changing.
This will change your destiny.
No matter who you are, no matter how successful, no matter how happy, Tony's got something to offer you.